Something else that you might have noticed as we've been working is if we have a closer look at these cylinder objects, just hitting the period key on the numpad to frame that up, you can see it looks very faceted rather than smooth and round. These other cylinders don't look so bad when we're far away, but when you zoom in on them, again you can see they have these very obvious edges to them. If I just hit the home key, I can frame everything up again. Now, if we select one of these objects, we have an option if we right click to either shade smooth or shade flat. And flat shading is on by default. So if we just click on shade smooth, you can see we round that form out. And we can do that on all of these objects at the same time. Just hit shade smooth and it will smooth out the look of the cylindrical objects. So I can do that for all of these. Right click, shade smooth. So at the moment, if you look over in the outliner, we have a lot of different objects. Now this can be a very messy way of working. We have a lot of different objects, all called cube or cylinder, and it can be very hard to select what we actually want. And also, if we want to move this object around within a larger scene, it becomes very difficult because it's all in separate parts. Yes, admittedly, we can select all of those objects and we can move them together, but it's not a very easy way to work and you can easily end up leaving pieces behind. And so what we can do is actually join these parts together into a single mesh. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all of these parts, and you can drag select over a number of them. You can hold down shift and drag select over more to add them to the selection. And I'm going to select the entire frame, but for now I'm going to leave the ropes and the swing seat separate, and you'll see why a little bit later. And now I am going to hit Control and J to join these together. There's also an option on the right click menu if I were to select these three objects, and if I right click you can see the option join here. So we are actually going to join those three parts together as well. So now we have two separate objects, one here, which if I select that I can now move independently, and again if I select the swing seat, hit G, I can move that. So that will be a lot tidier when you have a look in the outliner, but to make things even better, I'm going to select this object, double click on its name, and we can rename that. So I'm going to call that frame, and I'm going to select this object, double click on it, we will rename that to swing.